Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. So today we'll be talking about how to handle failing an exam. Failing an exam can be so devastating, especially when you know you have really given your all but you still fail. But then in life, you fail some and you succeed in some. Yeah. And also, failing is not the end of the world. If you fail an exam, I'm sure that your school will give you a second chance to rewrite the exam. It's okay to cry about it. It's okay to complain about it. It's okay to give yourself a free moment or some moment before you decide on what to do. I mean, it's a very sad situation, but it has happened and you are not going to wallow in it. Instead, you have to find a way to move forward. So, after failing an exam, you need to find out why you failed. Did you fail because you didn't understand the question, so you just jumped into it and you just started writing anything that comes out of your head? Or did you fail because you didn't study with the right materials? Or did you fail because maybe on the day of the exam you were sick, so you couldn't really think? So you have to ask yourself why you failed. From knowing the reason you failed the exam, then you would know how to tackle it. After failing an exam and you want to rewrite this exam, you need to re-strategize. And by re-strategizing, I mean going to ask the other students that passed this exam what they did differently. Maybe it's possible that there is a new material that came out and you didn't know about it. So these students, they use that material to study and they passed. While you use the old material, that was why you failed. So find out from the students that passed, and ask for past questions. In every school, there is always past question for a particular subject. So ask your friends or your senior colleagues for past questions and go through these past questions. As you are reading these past questions, you also go through your textbooks, read and make sure you are able to answer all these past questions. Yeah, of course, it's not exactly the same thing that will come out in the exam, but then being able to answer these past questions is a form of training yourself for whatever that will come out in the exam. Yeah. So you have to actually re-strategize so that when you are going to write the exam the next time, you actually write it and write it well. Also, in exam halls, some students are so anxious that they don't really cool down to read the question and understand it before answering. They just start rushing, and at the end of the day, you realize that you gave an accurate answer but for a different question. So you have to cool down, read the questions, understand it first before you start answering. Now, another thing that you can do is get a study group. It's possible that there are other students that failed the same exam that you failed. So you can gather one or maybe two students. You can gather two students. Then you will be the one to make them three, and you guys should actually focus and study. It's not a group where you come and you start discussing about the football that happened yesterday or the dance that you went for yesterday or the events that will be happening the next day. No, it should be solely on studying. As you guys are studying, you're asking yourself questions and you're trying to help each other. Let's say you know this topic very well, you teach it in the group. If your friend knows the other topic very well, your friend will teach it. So having a group study is actually good. It helps. It's not a must to have a group study, but then it helps. If you can get people that are equally serious as you guys should put minds together, study, teach each other, and on the day of the exam, the sky will be your limit. Now, another one is get a tutor. There are subjects that no matter how much you have read them, you you just don't seem to understand. It possibly is mathematics, it could be English, it could be chemistry, it could be literature, fine arts, whatever it is. There is just a particular subject that no matter how much you tried, no matter how much you tried to study, you are just not understanding. So in this situation, you should get a tutor. You can find one of your senior colleagues, pay the person, let the person teach you. But before you do that, make sure that the person actually knows the subject very well, or the course very well. Make sure the person knows the course very well, so that you know that you are paying for a good course and you're not just wasting your money. Yeah, so get a tutor and let the person teach you, so that you'll be able to pass the exam the next time. Now, the last thing I want to say is that read the materials over and over again. You don't just read a material once and expect to remember everything that is in that material. It is not possible. I always tell my students that you should try and read a material at least 2 times before exam starts. So read the material over and over again. You can read it 2 times, you can read it 3 times, so that you'll be able to remember at least 80% of the material. And when you are in the exam hall, nothing will be so new to you because you've covered the whole materials. Yeah. If you are watching this video and you failed an exam, or your friend failed an exam, or you know someone that failed, I'm really sorry about this situation that you found yourself. But then failing an exam is it's not the end of the world. I myself, when I was in medical school, when I was still schooling, I failed one major exam. That was epidemiology. And the reason I failed this exam was because I was so relaxed. I didn't really study as I was supposed to study. But of course, my school gave me a second chance to rewrite the exam, and I first asked myself, why did I fail? When I realized the reason I failed, I now had to rewrite my story. What do I mean by writing my story? I had to get the materials, the necessary materials I'm supposed to use, study it over and over again. I think I studied that material like 3 or 4 times. Then practice as many questions as possible. On the day of the exam, I wrote the exam and I got an A in the exam. And you know, A is the highest grade. Yeah. So if I failed an exam and I was able to write this exam again and get grade A, it means that you can rewrite the exam and get a very good grade. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to this channel. And I promise you that more and more videos will be coming on this channel soon. Bye.